Yeah, first off, I want to say this. The Tavon Sadler played for me at UNCG. He was the head coach at Nicholls. And when I recruited him, and he was in my first recruiting class, I know we stole one, by the way. He was a really talented player. He's the Baltimore City Player of the Year. And then he was the Freshman of the Year in the Southern Conference. And his sophomore year, he was all conference. And he was a great player. But I was the youngest Division I coach in the country when I recruited him and coached him, and now he's the youngest Division I coach in the country. And coaching's so special because you get to watch kids you get to build relationships with kids when they're kids, and then you get to watch them turn into young men while they're in college, and then you get to follow them. And I had one of my former players, James Dickey, was here tonight. Maybe he walked in the office today, made my day, because he wanted to be up here to see this. And so I say all that because that was really special for me, and I'm really, really proud of Tavon Sadler. He's going to be a star in college basketball. I mean, he wins 20 games last year in his first year, goes to the conference finals, and they won a big game at Northern Kentucky last night. I mean, they won at LSU last year. They almost won at Maryland last year. They have a really nice basketball team, and I'm proud of him. And after tonight, I'll be pulling like hell for him. I wasn't pulling for him going into tonight, but other than that, I'll be pulling for him. So that was really neat. I do think we played better tonight. I wasn't real pleased last week. There's a lot to unpack here. You guys know I'm not happy with the rebounding. They get 17 offensive rebounds. You guys know I'm not going to be happy with that. I didn't like the turnovers in the first half. I thought some of them were just so casual and unforced. Jizzle just loses the ball a couple times. One time he just throws it to the team with the other jersey on for no reason. And we had a couple footwork turnovers, Tyler Betsy and Dylan Mitchell. It's stuff that you can control that we value. And so that was a little bit frustrating. But I will say I was pleased with the defensive effort to start the game. I was pleased with the defensive effort to start the second half, and there was some good stuff going on. Jizzle James is really improved, and I think that's so obvious. Guys, he was really, really good on defense tonight. I mean, not only did he defeat ball screens, I don't think anybody hit him with the ball screen all night. I mean, he was special. So I was pleased with that, and I could keep going down the line, but I thought Jizzle had a really nice night.
Talk about the energy of Dylan Mitchell and what that gives to your team, especially the first segment. He had 6 points, 4 rebounds, just came out, and it impacted the game like his hair was on fire.
Yeah, well, I was really worried, in this game more so than the previous two because of their ability to shoot the ball, their explosiveness offensively. And if you look at the success they've had when they shoot it, they're really dangerous. That's a kind of a scarier type game at this point in the season. And because of that, we really challenged our guys defensively. I thought that first unit really accepted that challenge to start both halves. Dylan, just like I just praised Jizzle, Dylan was right there. I mean, he did an amazing job switching out, making people uncomfortable, making shots difficult. I mean, I thought early in the game there, we challenged every single shot or blocked every shot. And again, I'd give all those guys in that first unit credit, but Dylan stood out, and I said that to the team at halftime.
Coach, 3:45 left in the first half. You're up 13. You look down 16-40 to go in the second half, and you put a 20 over on Nicholls. What was the difference in your team there? Was there any particular message in that under 4 media timeout, also in the locker room at halftime?
Well, I really liked the way we finished the first half with about 2.5 minutes and change. And, we pressed and got the steal and converted. And I thought we had a great possession to end the half defensively. So I thought we finished the first half. That lifted us a lot. And then again, I thought that group started the second half. Not only did they get stops, but they were live ball stops that led to fast breaks and opportunities in the open court.
You had a pretty big lineup out there for a while, a point guard, and then some combination of Seamas, Dylan, Ray, Josh. Is that just out of necessity with Dan out that you're experimenting with that a little bit? And does Dylan being able to guard maybe a 2 or a guard change that your ability to do that?
Well, let me tell you something. You know, again, there are a lot of guys that had some good things that are worthy of me talking about. So when I start talking about everybody, we'll be in here all night. But Josh Reed was really damn good tonight. We didn't have him slotted to play this many minutes. He played this many minutes because when he played, he had such an impact on the game. We are looking for some guys that can impact our defense, that can add some gravity to our defense and into our rebounding. And I thought Josh added both. When he got that offensive rebound, I was the happiest guy in the building because we got to get back to the board. Again, I thought Dylan did that early with some tip outs and some things. But I thought Josh defended his tail off, and then I thought he did a really nice job on the board. And so because of that, we're going to find a way to play him extended minutes. But we have the ability to have so much lineup versatility because all these guys are so interchangeable. It's not just Dylan and Josh. I mean, you know, damn near all of them can guard multiple positions on the floor from top to bottom on the roster, and I think that allows you the ability to put different combinations out there.
Were you talking about the offensive rebound tip-in, layup that he had in the
Yes.
Josh Reed's?
Yeah.
Ayrton Page, career-high 5 blocks tonight. Your team had 14 blocks, the most in your tenure here at UC. What would you say was the biggest reason? Was it a point of emphasis this week in practice, or was it just a mixture of your guys' length with maybe some tired legs on Nicholls State?
You know, I think it's probably a combination of a lot of stuff. But Ayrton Page is a really good shot blocker. AZ Bandego is a really good shot blocker. Dylan Mitchell's a shot blocker. Josh Reed blocked a jump shot tonight. He's got great active hands. Dan Skillings, who's not out there, obviously seems to block shots. He's probably blocked more jump shots than anybody I've ever coached in games. I mean, so we got some guys that have the ability. That's probably one. Two, you know, I thought our defense forced them into some tough situations, putting their head down and, you know, kind of throwing their bodies around us at the basket. And I thought we did a nice job of challenging shots without fouling for the most part, and that led to some shot blocks. And then like AP, he's such a natural shot blocker. The challenge is to keep getting him into position early so he can make more plays. You know, he was so good in high school. We recruited the hell out of him. Like, he would let a guy drive it, and then he'd come block it at the very last second. He still tries to do stuff like that. It don't work at this level. But tonight a couple times he gets there early, and then he's in position to go make a nice play. So I think, you know, he has 5 of them, and I think part of it was he keeps getting better and better.
CMOS is, I think, 80% from 3 so far in the season. Is he just taking, I mean, I know he kind of heat checked it a little bit late, but is he just taking really smart shots in the flow of the offense that's leading to a lot of success for him?
I don't feel like he's forcing it at all. I can't think of one time. In fact, early on in the game, as he was coming off the floor for the first media, I told him to shoot. I mean, I thought he passed a couple up. He had the one he passed up in the corner and drove it and turned it over, trying to throw a lob to Aziz. And those are the kind of turnovers I'll live with because they're aggressive. But shoot, he's such a damn good shooter. I mean, he can't shoot enough good shots for me from outside the line. So, but he hasn't been forcing. I think he's taken the right ones. And then I think, you know, you got to give credit to the other guys because the ball's popping around. I mean, you look down tonight and 18 assists, right? So the ball's moving around. And there's other good players on the floor. But, you know, he's not going to shoot 80% this year because nobody's ever done that. You want him to. I do too. But that won't happen. But he is going to have a great year because he's a really good player and he continues to improve.
Wes, you mentioned Jizzle's defense throughout this game. 7 for 7 in the second half, 15 points. What is it about the way he plays that continually allows him to get going in the second half and makes him so hard to defend?
Yeah, you know, I've been really impressed with his ability to run our team and lead our team. And everybody knows he can score in bunches and bunches. I don't think it's a first half, second half thing, but I think he's just doing a nice job of continuing to grow as a true point guard. He can run the team, he can get others involved, and you guys know he's always been up. I mean, gosh, you go down to watch him. his senior year in high school, and I watched him get 50 one night. I mean, he's always been able to score the ball. So I think just continuing to mature at that position and knowing the right times to facilitate, the right times to try to score the ball and make plays, and I think he's doing a nice job of that. So it's not just that he gets 19, he does it with great efficiency tonight.
Yeah, Coach. 6 rebounds for AP today. Also 5 blocks as well. He also shot it for 3 tonight as well. How important is it for the team to have 2 bigs that can rotate in and really be efficient, especially going into conference play?
It's important. I mean, you got to have depth in the front court, especially in our league, and so we got to keep. You know, I actually thought Aziz was pretty dang good. They were sitting on the screen and roll so hard tonight, which opened up a ton of other stuff. And I thought he didn't let it affect him when he didn't get easy baskets. And I thought that was important to us offensively. But you got to have depth in the front court. We're going to try to keep bringing along Halveen as well. I mean, you know, again, I've said it, we threw him into the fire, but it was nice to get him some extended minutes tonight. And he can rebound, he can hit, and he's a smart kid. So we're going to need some depth in our front court, and we're going to continue to try to develop those guys.
CJ, okay?
I don't know. I mean, I think he got his ankle or rolled his foot, so we'll let you know when we know something. But you guys saw everything that I saw.
Coach, you talked about it, allowing 17 offensive rebounds. What's going to be the motto going forward, or what adjustments are you guys going to make to not allow that to happen again?
We'll just continue to work on our technique and continue to drill it. And you guys know this, if people come in here and can get 17 offensive rebounds in this league, we're going to be really disappointed. So we'll keep making that point. But I did think our effort to the ball was a little bit better tonight. And shoot, that's a good basketball team. They make good effort to the ball as well.
This is a little bit off of the game. How familiar are you with the Maurice Stokes and Jack Twyman story?
You know, obviously that was the namesake of the game tonight. And I wasn't familiar at all when I got the job here. You know, I'd heard of the NBA Teammate of the Year award and probably heard, you know, the Stokes-Twyman name, but I didn't understand the story, know anything about it. And I was fortunate that learned a lot about Cincinnati and Cincinnati basketball since I've been here, but I was fortunate to learn that story, and I just thought it was incredibly touching. And I was shocked as somebody that is, you know, passionate and obsessed with basketball that I didn't know it. And if I don't know it, I mean, how many people haven't heard it or aren't aware of it? And so this is a great step in the right direction because it's a story that's well beyond basketball, right? I mean, this is a story of real friendship, you know, being a great teammate, taking that to the ultimate level. And there's a lot more to it. I've already done this publicly now for like the 5th time, so I won't, you know, say the whole story again, but it's something that regardless of whether you love basketball or sports, I think everybody can relate to it. It's a story of humanity. So I will continue to try to bring light to that because I think everybody should, but certainly, you know, one of the main characters in this story happens to have his jersey retired here in Cincinnati. And so Jay Twyman, Jack's son, was here and spoke to our team yesterday in the locker room and kind of explained it. And we'll continue to try to build on that and get the word out there because it's a special thing. You know, we talk about being great teammates. That's the example right there of what a great teammate is.
What struck me as I was researching this is that when Maurice Stokes hit his head, they gave him smelling salts and he was conscious, and then they let it go. And now, how is taking care of players with head injuries and other injuries improved since you've been in basketball?
Yeah, it's improved a lot even since I played, right? And certainly they've made so many improvements in football where there's more collisions. But you're talking about the 50s, you know, like the late 50s, early 60s, you know, and it wasn't just the smelling salts, right? And then he played again in that game. I mean, for those people that don't know, they're going to listen to this. Maurice Stokes was playing in the NBA, and he was a great player in the NBA. I think he was in his 3rd year, and he gets a concussion in Detroit, and they just give him smelling salts and throw him back in the game. And then, you know, gets on an airplane, which that's not good either, and then plays in a game the next night, and he ends up going to a coma a couple days later. You know, and that would never happen in today's world. And, Obviously, we've come a long way medically, and we probably still have a long way to go, but that's why you do have concussion protocols and all the stuff that we have in place. We didn't even have all that stuff in place 20 years ago. So we continue to improve in that way.
Thank you.
One more.
Yep.
Coach, first road trip this upcoming week. Just curious on your thoughts on where your team is as you prepare for NKU and then Georgia Tech.
You know, I probably don't think about it as much as you guys do. My concern is we'll practice again on Sunday, and can we get better in practice? And I know that's a terrible answer, and I'm not trying to be terrible to you guys, but you guys are the ones that get to write the stories on where we are and where we're not and all that kind of crap. All I can control is practice on Sunday, and I hope we have a dang good one and get better. And so we'll see, but that'll be a tough challenge for us. That was really hard when we went over there 2 years ago. And I know this, Darren Horn's a great coach. They lost a tough game last night at the buzzer with the lead down the stretch. They will respond, and they will be ready for the Bearcats. So we got to get our team ready over the next couple days.
Thanks, Coach.